Time teaches that pain is a passport, not a prison. See, when we talk about pain, most folks think it's the enemy. They run from it, numb it, try to bury it under success, or silence it with distractions. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Pain is the process. Pain is the passageway. Pain is the toll you pay on the road to purpose. You ever seen a tree grow tall and strong without its roots breaking through hard soil? It can't happen. No pain, no depth, no pressure, no strength. Every lesson worth learn, and every piece of wisdom that shaped who I am, didn't come from applause or comfort. It came from rejection, from heartbreak, from sitting in the silence with nothing but my doubts and God. There was a time in my life I thought I had it all figured out. I was chasing the dream, tacking every role that came my way, thinking I was building a legacy. But what I didn't realize is that I was moving so fast, I wasn't learning. Then one day, a door I thought was wide open slammed shut in my face. A role I knew was mine gone. I was angry, confused, embarrassed, thought I had failed. But what I didn't see at the time was that God wasn't denying me, He was redirecting me. That pain wasn't punishment, it was positioning. You see, pain will introduce you to yourself. It'll show you what's real and what's not. Pain will strip away the ego, burn off the pride, and leave behind the part of you that's unshakable, your truth. And once you get that, once you come out the other side, you walk different, you talk different, not because you're better than anyone, but because you've been through something, you earned your peace. Most people think pain locks them in, but that's not true. It's not a prison, it's a passport. Every time you walk through it, you get stamped with experience, stamped with courage, stamped with clarity. And that passport don't just take you to new places on the outside, it takes you to deeper places on the inside. So when pain shows up, don't run. Don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because there's a gift inside it. Might not be pretty, might not be easy, but it's sacred, and time knows when you're ready to receive it. Time teaches patience is power. When you're young or just getting started, you think everything's supposed to happen fast. You see folks blowing up overnight, success looking instant, dreams seeming like they've fallen from the sky. And you start asking, why not me? Why not now? But what you don't realize, what time eventually shows you, is that fast success often fades just as fast, but anything that lasts has to be built brick by brick, layer by layer. There were times in my life I wanted the yes before I was even ready to handle it. I thought I was prepared for the blessing, but I hadn't built the foundation to carry the weight of it. And life or God or time, whichever you believe in, it don't give you what you're not equipped to handle. It waits until you've been shaped, until the character catches up to the calling. You ever try to pull fruit off a tree before it's ripe? You ever bite into that thing? It's bitter, tough, not what it could be. But give it time, let the sun hit it, let the roots do their thing underground, and one day it's ready. You can't see it growing, but it's happening, and that's the same with you. Patience isn't about sitting still and doing nothing. It's about being active in your development while trusting the timeline. It's about working in silence, even when no one's watching. It's about staying faithful when it feels like nothing is moving. Because sometimes God is building you in the dark before He brings you into the light. I've had roles that came years after the grind, awards that followed seasons of rejection, breakthroughs that only came after long stretches of almosts. But when they came, when that moment finally hit, it was sweet. Not because it was easy, but because it was earned. Because I knew I didn't cut corners. I didn't force it. I waited with faith and I walked with discipline. The world will tell you hustle harder, move faster, get more, but time will whisper, be still, you're not late, you're just being prepared. The blessing ain't in the rush. The blessing is in the wait, in who you become while you're waiting. And once you learn that, once patience becomes part of your power, you stop chasing what's not yours, you stand tall, you let life come to you because it will in time. Time teaches presence is more valuable than progress. We live in a world that worships momentum. Always moving, always grinding, always asking what's next. Like the moment we're in ain't good enough unless it's tacking us somewhere else. But the older you get, the more you realize. Some of the most powerful, most life Defining moments don't come from moving forward. They come from standing still, from being fully here. There was a time I was shooting back films. My calendar stayed full, phone ringing all day. People were clapping for me saying, "You're on fire, Denzel." But one night I came home and my son looked up at me and said, "You always busy." Just 3 words, but they cut deep. Because I realized I was building a name out in the world, but missing the moments that matter most inside my home. I was moving, sure, but I wasn't present. You see, progress is about doing. Presence is about being. Being fully there when your friend needs someone to listen. Being all in when your child shows you their drawing like it's the Mona Lisa. Being still enough to hear your own thoughts, your own heart, instead of drowning it out with noise and ambition. And the thing about time, it doesn't stop for anyone. You don't get it back. That conversation you didn't have, that hug you didn't give, that quiet morning you rushed past just to get to what's next. You can't rewind that. You don't realize the value of now until it becomes a memory. And then you're stuck wondering why success feels hollow. Why you're tired even after you've made it. It's because your body got there, but your soul never caught up. I've learned that presence takes discipline. It's easy to scroll, to check out, to chase the next win. But it takes heart to slow down, to give people your eyes, your ears, your attention like they're the only thing that matters in that moment. Because they are, and when you start living like that, you find out that peace ain't in the destination. It's in the depth of right now. Time doesn't ask for your resume. It asks for your awareness. Are you here, or are you already gone? Are you living the life in front of you, or are you chasing one that doesn't even exist yet? Because if you don't know how to be present, it won't matter what you achieve, you'll always feel like something's missing. And that something is you. Time teaches silence is strength. When you're younger, you think every battle needs a response. Somebody disrespects you, you clap back. They doubt you, you prove them wrong. You want the last word, the loudest voice, the sharpest comeback. But with time, real-time life, lived time, you start to understand. Not everything needs your energy. Not every fight deserves your fire. There's a certain kind of strength that doesn't come from what you say, but from what you choose not to say. That takes discipline, that takes maturity, that takes power. Because silence, when used right, is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's knowing that your purpose is louder than your pride, that your growth matters more than your ego. I've been in rooms where people underestimated me, looked right through me. I could have barked. I could have made noise. But I stayed quiet and let my work speak. Let my results echo louder than anything I could have said. And time always brings the truth to the surface. You don't have to shout when your consistency is doing the talking. You don't have to prove who you are when your character already has the evidence. There's a peace in choosing not to engage with every critic, every rumor, every distraction. You start to learn the difference between someone challenging you and someone trying to trigger you. And once you know that, you stop handing out your power so freely. You realize silence isn't about being passive, it's about being focused. It's about knowing that the mission is too important to pause every time somebody throws shade. Sometimes silence is the most commanding thing in the room. It's standing tall while chaos swirls around you. It's smiling when you could snap. It's walking away when the old you would have stayed to argue. That's growth. That's knowing who you are so well. You don't need applause, permission, or permission to protect your peace. Time will show you that the loudest one in the room isn't always the strongest. It's the one who knows how to choose their moments. The one who can hold their tongue until the truth doesn't need defending anymore. Because eventually, silence becomes undeniable. It becomes respect. And it becomes your greatest ally. Time teaches your name isn't your worth. When you first step out into the world, you think your name, your title, your reputation, the applause you get is everything. You chase the spotlight, you chase the approval, you chase the version of yourself that looks good to everybody else. You want people to know your name, remember it, speak it with admiration. But the longer you live, the more you realize your name can open doors, but it can't tell the full story of who you are. I've had my name on billboards, posters, stages. I've walked into rooms where people already had an opinion of me before I even said a word. Some praised me, some judged me, and for a while I let that name, Denzel Washington, carry the weight. But let me tell you something real. The name might get you invited, but it's your character that keeps you there. It's how you treat people when the cameras are off. It's how you show up when nobody's watching. It's how you respond when life tests your integrity, not your image. There was a time when I was more focused on the name than the man behind it. I thought the awards, the recognition, the buzz that was proof I mattered. But time humbled me. Time stripped that down. It asked, if the name went away tomorrow, who would you be? If no one was watching, would you still stand for the same things? Your worth can't be built on something as fragile as public opinion. People will love you today and forget you tomorrow. They'll put your name up in lights, then walk away when those lights go out. But when you've taken the time to build yourself, not your brand, not your image, but your soul, that's something no one can take. That's where real value lies. Time teaches you to separate the applause from the truth. It teaches you that the most powerful thing isn't being known, it's being authentic. It's looking in the mirror and being proud of the person you are when no one's clapping. It's being at peace even when the world goes quiet. Because in the end, your name might echo for a moment, but your essence, who you really are, that's what leaves a legacy. Time teaches humility is not weakness, it's wisdom. When you're climbing, when you're grinding, when you're out here trying to make a name for yourself, it's easy to think you gotta puff your chest out, talk big, walk loud, let the world know you're here. You think strength is about presence taking up space, dominating the room, but time will knock that pride right out of you. It will remind you that life is bigger than your resume, your ego, or your plans. I used to think I had to prove something to Hollywood, to critics, to people who didn't believe in me. But life has a way of showing you that real confidence doesn't need to scream. Real strength isn't in showing off, it's in showing up, especially when no one's watching. And humility, that quiet, grounded understanding that you're not above anyone, not beneath anyone, but human like the rest, that's what gives you real power. I've stood on stages and accepted awards, and I've stood at bedsides watching people I love take their last breath. And I'll tell you this, in those sacred moments, it's not your status that matters, it's your spirit. It's not how many people know your name, it's how many people feel your heart. Time strips away the illusion that you're in control of everything. It shows you how fragile life is, how quickly it can all change, and when you see that, when you really understand that humility doesn't feel like weakness, it feels like truth. Humility is walking into a room and not needing to be the most important person in it. It's listening more than you speak. It's giving credit. It's lifting others up when the spotlight is on you. It's understanding that everything you have, every gift, every opportunity, you didn't earn that alone. Someone prayed for you. Someone opened a door, and God, well, He had a hand in it whether you admit it or not. Time will humble you. It will remind you that storms come for everyone, the mighty and the meek. That pain don't care about your status. That love, kindness, grace, those things aren't signs of being soft. They're signs of being wise. When you carry humility with you, you walk different. You treat people with more gentleness, more patience. You stop needing to be right all the time, and you start wanting to do right instead. And maybe the most powerful thing time teaches is this: you don't have to shout to be heard. Sometimes, the quietest ones leave the loudest legacy. Time teaches love is a verb, not a feeling. When you're young, love feels like fireworks, exciting, loud, full of emotion. It's the butterflies, the late night calls, the sweet words, the thrill of being wanted. And that's beautiful, don't get me wrong. But as time goes on, you start to learn something deeper. You start to see that real love isn't just about how someone makes you feel, it's about what someone chooses to do. I've seen couples stand at the altar, full of passion, full of dreams, but it's not the vows that carry them through the hard days. It's the actions. It's the way they show up after the honeymoon is over, when the bills come in, when sickness hits, when the weight of life gets heavy. That's when love reveals itself, not in the easy, but in the consistent. I've learned that love is in the details. It's in the sacrifices you make when no one's keeping score. It's in the choice to stay, to forgive, to listen even when your pride is louder than your patience. It's getting up at 2 a.m. because your child had a bad dream. It's holding your partner's hand in silence because you know words won't fix what they're feeling. It's choosing to love when it's not convenient, when it's not easy, when it's not romantic. There were times in my own life, in my marriage, in my friendships, in my family, where I had to relearn love. Not the Hollywood version, not the feel-good version, the real, raw, steady kind, the kind that holds on when everything in you wants to run, the kind that speaks truth even when it hurts, the kind that says, "I'm not going anywhere." Time strips away the illusion that love is just chemistry. Time teaches that love, real love, is built, not just felt. It's a discipline, a commitment, a choice made over and over again. And that's what makes it sacred. That's what makes it strong. You learn that love isn't loud. It doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's showing up for dinner. Sometimes it's picking up the phone. Sometimes it's letting someone grow, even if it means giving them space. And here's the truth: feelings will fade. Passion will shift. Life will test the bond. But when love is a verb, when it's rooted in action, when it's grounded in grace and grit, it endures. It becomes something unshakable. Time teaches you that. Time shows you that the deepest love doesn't have to shout. It simply stays. Time teaches that failure is not the end, it's the instruction. When you're starting out, failure feels like a stop sign, a closed door, a verdict. You mess up, and it feels final, embarrassing, heavy. You think, "I guess I wasn't good enough. I guess this isn't for me." But let me tell you something time taught me, and it didn't whisper it. It had to break me down to show me. Failure is not the end of the story. It's just a chapter. Sometimes it's the most important chapter. I remember bombing auditions, missing out on roles I thought were made for me. I'd walk out that room feeling crushed, questioning my gift, my calling, even my identity. But what I didn't see then, and what time makes crystal clear, is that every no was a redirection. Every fall had a lesson stitched inside it. And every so-called failure was molding something in me that success never could: resilience, humility, hunger. You don't grow when everything goes right. You grow when life knocks you down, and you have to decide if you're going to stay there or get up. You grow when your plan crumbles, and you have to build a new one from the rubble. You grow when the applause stops, and all you hear is your own voice asking, "Do I still believe in me?" See, failure doesn't destroy dreams. Quitting does. And the people who look the most polished, the most put together, the most successful, every single one of them has a trail of mistakes behind them. Losses, rejections, breakdowns, but they kept showing up. They kept learning, because time teaches you. Failure is a teacher, not a thief. The world might laugh at your fall, but time will show you that the very thing you tripped over can become the foundation you build on. Failure brings focus. It reveals what matters. It peels away the fluff and shows you your real reasons for doing what you do. And when you walk through failure with your eyes open, you start to lose the fear of it. You stop letting it define you. Instead, you let it refine you. You stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What did this come to teach me?" That's where the shift happens. That's where power begins, not in avoiding failure, but in owning it, in using it, in letting it sharpen your vision and deepen your roots. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that your failures didn't break you, they built you. And that's a lesson only time has the courage to teach. So now, here we are. We've walked through the fire of time's teachings, 12 lessons carved not in books, but in the quiet spaces of life. Lessons that don't arrive all at once, but drift in like rain, slow, steady, and sure. And if you've been listening with your heart, not just your ears, then you know. Time is the greatest teacher. You never asked for the one who doesn't raise their voice, but always leaves a mark. It teaches you that pain has purpose, that silence has power, that presence is rare, and love, real love, is a choice, that your name, your title, your status, none of it holds a candle to your character, that patience, humility, and failure aren't setbacks, they're stepping stones. But here's the truth, and I want you to take this with you. None of these lessons mean anything unless you live them. Don't just nod. Don't just agree. Walk it. Apply it. Let time not just pass through you. Let it shape you. Let it refine your soul, not just count your years. Because one day you'll look back and you won't remember every success. You won't remember every headline, but you will remember who you became, how you treated people, how you rose after the fall, how you gave, how you grew, how you loved. That's the legacy. That's the impact. That's what time was trying to teach you all along. So stand tall, stay humble, and keep learning. Let time make you better, not bitter. Let it build you, not break you. And when your time is up, let the life you lived speak for itself. Thank you.